Speaking's an underrated skill. Everybody thinks they can speak until they're put on a stage or until they're put in front of a camera. Everybody thinks they can speak. And again, as I mentioned earlier, found this out personally myself. Everybody thinks they can speak until they're put in a certain situation. If you can show that you're just that person who can do it, I'm always reminded when I talk about storytelling is the film, I believe it's The King's Speech with Colin, I think it's Colin Firth or Colin Farrell. I've got both of them wrong, I believe. And it just shows, you imagine the pressure that he's under and put anybody else in that situation, the pressure he's under, and he starts to stutter, he starts to mumble. That could happen to any of us. That might not, I know within the film he had a certain speech impediment, but that could happen to any of us because when you're put on the spot and you've got that amount of pressure, you're not the same person as what you are when you're speaking to your mates or to what you are when you're speaking to a camera. So just developing your storytelling skills, being able to, as Trump would say, make the weave, bring people back and forth into different topics. It also would help in just keeping an audience engaged or keeping people engaged if you're at a party or if you're at any sort of social event like that. Because rather than just saying, I woke up, I went to the shop and I come home, you are able to throw in other little tales, you're able to bring in other little areas. For example, me myself, I want to work a lot more on focusing on how I can bring in my video editing into telling my stories because whilst I'm very happy making this podcast, I'm very happy engaging with the audience. I'm very happy just growing a personal brand and speaking in front of the camera just in general. I genuinely enjoy doing this. I also have a service, which is short form video editing. Now, I don't want to do it as blatant as this, and this is a terrible example, but I'm just trying to show you guys what I mean. I want to get better at weaving it in to the podcast and weaving back out of it and weaving it into the podcast and weaving it back out because then it's still present. It's still something that somebody could hear that's in the market for a short form video editor and think, Callum Richards got a podcast. I message him. It works well for me. But at the same time, I don't want you guys to be sitting there like, oh, Cal talking about his video editing again. So it's going to benefit you massively within your professional life. I just think speaking in general and feeding back to yourself. I'll watch this episode at least twice, once when I edit it and twice when it's released, and I'll listen to it to see what I think as a listener and where I can improve. So get recording, get writing, get telling your story.